everybody, it's now Tim here with another video. Today I'm going to be doing the social media book tag, which is kind of an old tag. I feel like I always end up doing old tags on this channel, but I just thought it sounded really fun. I mean, everybody loves social media. Obviously, like if you're watching this video, you're on social media, so like everybody loves social media, everybody uses social media. I love social media, so I thought this would be a really fun tag. The questions look really fun. I think this was popular about like 3 years ago, but oh well, I thought it would be fun to do, so I'm going to do it. But let's just go ahead and get into the video. Twitter, your favorite shortest book. And for this one, I'm going to go with The Midnight Twins by Jacqueline Mitchard. I think that's how you say that last name. Well, I read this book ages ago, but it's super short, and I remember I really liked it. It's about two twins. They're born like they're born on New Year's, and so one of them is born like the last day of like the last year, and then like the other one is born the first day of the new year, and they end up like having powers because of this like split with how they were born. And actually I think it's so crazy this happened like a year or two ago, where like two twins were actually like, identical twins, actually born like, maybe they weren't identical, I don't know, but they were born like in different years because they were born on New Year's. And I heard about that and I was like, are you kidding me? It's happening. It's like, track them down, they're gonna have powers. But no, it's a super short book. I don't remember what it's about at all, but I remember I really loved this book when I did read it. Facebook, a book everyone pressured you into reading. And honestly, I don't have a book for this. I don't really think I get pressured into reading things. I know what I want to. I mean, I love reading, but only when it's stuff I want to read. Like if I had to read a book for school that I didn't like I wouldn't read the book. Like, you know, like I'm a reader, and so everyone assumes like, oh, you must have loved like all the reading in high school, and like you must have always read the book. I'm like, no, like if I didn't want to read the book, like I didn't read it, and I like did what other kids did and like looked up Spark Notes. Like I love to read, but only what I like to read. So I feel like I don't get pressured to read books. I mean, there's definitely like times where people are like, oh, you should definitely read this. This looks good. I'm like, okay, yeah, this does look good, I'll read it. Or like lots of people are telling me you should read this, but I never feel like pressured to read something. I always read it because I'm like, yeah, everybody loves this, I will probably like it too, if that makes sense. So I don't have a book for this. I don't know, I read what I want. I feel like maybe there's a time I just don't know of, but I feel like I don't really get pressured into reading things. Tumblr, a book you read before it was cool. And for this one, I'm gonna go with Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. I actually feel like I'm a bit like, is it called book hipster? I don't know, like a lot of times I read books before they're cool. I don't know, it actually hasn't happened in a while, but I used to always read books before they were popular. Like so many of like the main like popular books that like non-readers would think of like as like huge YA books, I'm like, I read that like when it first came out. I don't know, I don't know how it happens. I feel like a lot of times I do read books before, and I definitely read Twilight. Like I forget what books were not out when I read Twilight, but it was definitely before like the huge craze. And yeah, it's crazy to like think about a time where like I was obsessed with Twilight and no one else was. Like it's weird to think that time existed. MySpace, a book you don't remember whether you liked or not. And for this one, I'm gonna go with Jennifer Government by Max Berry. And like I remember kind of liking this, but I don't know why. Like I know I didn't, like I know I enjoyed it, like it was a good book. Like I don't have, when I look at it, I don't have negative feelings, but I'm like, for the life of me I cannot remember why I liked this. Like I have no idea. Like it's about this like world society where whoever your employer is, that's your last name. So like if you worked for Nike, I'd be like Natalie Nike or something. And so it's about like this girl, Jennifer Government, she works for the government, and it's just like about like these corporate scandals or whatever. And I remember liking it, but like I don't know what I liked about it. Instagram, a book that was so beautiful you had to Instagram it. And for this one, I'm gonna go with The Forever Song by Julie Kagawa. And I always talk about this series when I talk about pretty books. Like I am obsessed with these covers. And the stories are great too. They're about like, it's kind of like a mix between like dystopian and then like fantasy vampires. Like it's a dystopian with vampires. It's really good and it's really dark. Like you would not guess that this is such a dark book based on the cover, but it's real dark. And I really love the book. I think the covers are so beautiful. Like it's just so purple and pretty, and I love it. YouTube, a book you wish would be turned into a movie. Again, I feel like I always mention this when I talk about books I want to be movies. That is A Daughter of Silk and Bone by Laini Taylor, and I want this to be a movie so bad. Can you just imagine like a film adaptation of All the Chimera? Like how insane would that be? Like it'd be so good. Goodreads, a book you recommend to everyone. And for this one, I'm gonna go with The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. It is a very like intense and gory read, but I feel like it's so good and so like fast-paced that even non-readers would like it. Like, I can't imagine, maybe a pacifist, like I can't imagine someone who wouldn't like this series. Like, it's so good. So yeah, this is definitely a book I would recommend to everybody. I think that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't done this tag, I definitely tag you to do it. If you want to, go ahead. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below any fun answers you had to these questions. I would love to know, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!